Hello, guys, and welcome to episode 2 of Poker Strategy video series Crushing Limit by Limit. We have a live stream. We had our second video on Monday, so please check it out. The theme of the video was all about the exploit play, and today we're just going to continue in that tone. We're going to talk about exploit strategy, how to make them, how to use it. Basically, we're going to talk all about exploit. Okay, table number 3. It's limped pot. And the guy bets big. The problem is in limp pot we don't have many strong hands. And I'm isolating all the pairs, so I think we're just gonna check. Okay. If you saw the previous video, we had an interesting ending of the video, and today we are searching for the revenge. So let's do it. And how the spots okay. Yeah, I mute the channel now. Great. We're calling the Jack 9 on table number 1. We are opening Jacks on table number 3. So we're going to talk about exploit. As soon as we get any spot, I will tell you what type of the exploits you can do, how to do it, how big adjustment need to be made and stuff like that. We're going to bet small here. Generally we want to bet bigger on the low board, so I'm going to go with the bigger size. Again, we can go small, we can go half pot. I'm going to go 1/3. Okay, so as soon as we get some spot, I will tell you what type of adjustment and how far you can go into adjustments, so it will be interesting. Table number 2, we are calling the flop. We can donk on the turn here. If you know this guy is a reg, we can do stuff like that. I'm gonna go with the check. We have a lot of queen x hands, and on the river we just have to overbet. We have a lot of drawy hands, 9 10 jack 10. It's all the hands. You just have to go with an overbet, and I think yeah, we just want to go with the 2x spot. Fold there. All our bluffs. We also have pocket pairs here, 4s, 5s. That's gonna call the flop. I'm just gonna try to check this guy up. Team stat name. Just to see if he's a reg. But I will not be able to do it because we have only 9 seconds. Our hand is generally call of the 4-bet, but I'm against 2.5. I'm just gonna fold it this time until I know something about him. Generally it's always a call in these positions, but yeah, not sure. I have team stat name, so I can check the guys up. I'm gonna go with the 3-bet here. Let's see, Chia think, let's see his name full. 99. Okay, I found the guy. Guy is reg. We put him as a reg. 4-bet range is really low, so I'm glad we made the fold. Ivan, man, thanks. Stay with us. We're gonna talk about interesting stuff today, because people generally don't understand the concept of exploit strategies and how to use them at all. So it will be fun, and maybe you can learn some things or two about the exploit strategies, which I think it's it can have a big impact on your win rate, really big impact. But if you're not using it correctly, it can also be like a boomerang back to your head, because it's dangerous to use it. You just need to know a lot of stuff. You definitely first need to know the GTO. What is GTO? How the GTO works, and then you need to know how far your opponent is far from GTO, and then you need to know what you can do to punish him and how to do it. So you need to have a lot of things that you need to know before you can do exploit stuff. We're gonna call queen 7, king 3 4. We're gonna fold there. So people talk about exploit a lot, but generally I don't think that many of them fully understand what the exploit mean and how to basically do it. Here's the example of the. We're not gonna do it now, but generally I want to just say few spots where you can do a lot of exploiting. I think the most important spot is attack check ranges. Definitely attack check ranges. Check range out of position. You can step a lot more than GTO steps. You can use small size because they will not be able to respond well to that small size. When you step small size, they need to check raise massively, and they're not going to do it. So you're going to exploit them a lot because they will not check raise. You will realize a lot of equity that you shouldn't be able to. So definitely. Okay, I'll get back to this. Table number 2. We want to bet there. We are big blind versus button, so our range is polarized. We're gonna bet this board. For example, small blind versus button, we're gonna do a lot of checking, but big blind versus button, we have a lot of suited connectors. Gonna fall to this size. Generally, polarized range hits decent this board, so definitely double barrel here. Because we don't have many ace jack off, we never had ace 10 off, we don't have king jack off, queen jack off, so we don't have many air on this board, and our polarized range consists a lot of hands like 6 7 7 8 8 9, hands like king 7 suited, queen 7 suited, where we're going to have a lot of open enders, and basically it hits us really nice. Ace 10, I think double barrel here with the gut shot. We want to fold out hand like ace jack, ace queen. So generally we want to bet the flop really often with our polarized range, and I think that on the turn our hand is clear double barrel. We want to fold out better ace highs, and generally our range has a lot of equity on that board, and I think it's really nice to just keep barreling. Okay, we are folding on the table number 2. We're gonna open there. Yep, so first I will say attack check ranges really hard. Attack double check, do a lot of delay bets. People generally all for to delay c bets a lot, so when you see that they're all falling to delay, you can just put a lot of bluffs in delay and move that bluffs from c-bet, from flop c-bet, and that is one adjustment you make and one exploit you are making, because you just profitably cut down your bluffs and put it in delay range where you are against a lot weaker range because it's double checked, and my pool has weak check ranges, weak double check out of position, so this is the spots we can go exploiting, and I'm gonna go with a 3-bet here, and you basically pound on them a lot in this spot. So when the spots come here, I'm just going to tell you what I like to do in these situations. We are small blind against middle position, basically our hand. I think ace jack off is okay to 3-bet it. 3-7 we're gonna 7-10 we're gonna fold. 3-7 we're gonna open. I open on the button more than GTO. GTO is 42%. I think 55 to 60 you can go because people not gonna tribute you enough, especially on lower limits. So you can go on button and cutoff widen up a little bit. I think that's also great. Table number 2, ace queen. Okay, we get the fold. King queen we are opening. King 3 we're gonna open, but now on the table number 3 we're just gonna fold it. Okay, tens on the table number 3 we are gonna open it. King 3 off, we're not gonna do anything. Tens, okay. King 3 against 2.2, still not good enough for calling. High rider, we don't know him. We can check him out fast. Yes. King 7-3, we can bet, we can check. I'm gonna start with a check. We can bet 1/3 with tens, but I'm not sure how his range looks like. That's also the problem. Generally, I don't have a call strategy in any positions except big blind and the button, so cutoff is only tribute or fold for me, so I'm not sure how his range looks like. Generally, for what I see is a lot of pocket pairs. Generally, a lot of pocket pairs. I think he's tabbing sixes a lot on the flop. He can do it, but I'm not sure. Yep, I think I like to go with 1.2 block bet. I think it's okay. Okay, on the table number 2 we bet small on the king 8-6, which I think is okay. I think I'm just gonna go with a check now. We're definitely bet check bet it if he checks. I think it's also really great line to exploit. We just want to see what we want to rep there. Do we want to rep ace x or do we want to rep king x? So if I want to rep king x, I'm just gonna go with the big size, and I'm gonna rep king x in this spot. So go with the bigger size. Psychopath, man. Thanks. I hope I'm gonna see you at the tables. Last time we were playing against each other on one table, but we didn't have many spots. Again, attack those lines. Bet check bet line. Again, people are messily overfolding it, because when we think about, you can just pound here really hard. Again, I'm gonna, after we play on the hand on the table number 4, I'm gonna explain it. Again, this board prefers bigger size, so I'm gonna go with the bigger size. Again, small blind range, we're just gonna have to guess it. People can have here 20% range, they can have 5-6% of range. Not sure what this guy is doing. He called the big bet there on the ace 4-6. He's gonna call 3s, 5s, we just don't know. I'm gonna check behind there because I'm not sure how his range looks like. I'm not sure is he a fish or not, so I'm just gonna go like this. This is weird. Yeah, this is really weird. Okay, we can mark him as a weaker player. 3-8 is not bluffing the river. Okay, 1/3 there. I'm gonna go 1/3 here. I'm gonna check aces there on the table number 2. On the table number 3, I'm gonna call a check raise. I'm just trying to. He would need to check raise hands like 8-10 suited, 7-8 suited, with the backdoors on the flop, which is, I think, fine. We're gonna go again over bet. We're gonna again we're gonna attack these check ranges. Okay, I think I'm gonna jam there. He reps really low. I think he could have a lot of 9x hands. I'm gonna go with the jam. To me, he looks like hand like 9x. This 4 cut down his sets a lot. And we're calling check raise with queens, kings, aces. And on this side, I'm just gonna jam all of these hands. Fives, I think, are okay to do it. Not that bad. King Jack, we're just gonna go with an open. I think this guy's probably rego, so let's go back to the hand we played with the Jack 9. I went to where we had it, Jack 9. Jack 9, we had the Jack 9 folder in a multi-way. Jack 9, this is something great to do. You see, we bet there on the flop, we bet small, the guy calls, the turn is ace. We're gonna bet on these board hands like 9s, 10s, we can bet all of these hands with this small size. When the ace comes, we're gonna check also hands like, let's say, ace 5 with a 5 of diamonds, stuff like that. And when he checks here, he's gonna mostly have hand like 7-8, hand like 6x, hand like pocket 4s with the diamond, pocket 5s. And I think you want to attack all of these ranges, you want to attack really hard. So pounding on, even without hands, with hands that are no GTO bets ever, you can just go and without problem you can get away with it. And you can go even real hard there, because people will not be good enough to realize what you're doing, and even if they are realizing what are you doing, I don't think they will be good enough to know how to punish you. So pounding on these spots are crucial. You don't need to have any hands, you don't have to have anything, you just attack those spots without nothing. Okay, table number 4. Until we don't know anything about his, usually big blind versus small blind needs to be a polar range. I'm not sure how his range looks like. If his range is linear, then he can double barrel here 70% of hands without any problem, and our hand we just need to fold. But like I said, I'm not sure how his range looks like. So if he's not having polar range, then our nines are pretty much fold until we know that. This guy seems like he's betting hands like 5s and 6s. I would want to see when to showdown here. We want to raise or call. I think I want to call. Okay, he reps some low pair, but not a lot of those hands in his range, so I think it's fine. Against spot you can really attack hard. Really good exploit is to attack c-bet check call line, because people over c-bet and then on the turn they have a lot of medium strength hands and then they want to go to the showdown with that hand. So here we're just gonna bet the turn. People over c-bet generally, that's the, and then on the turn c-bet check call check fold. On my limits it's 60% plus, on lower limits it's probably near to 70 or maybe even more. So you want to definitely attack those spots really hard again. We don't have blockers here, but our hand is I think really nice bet with 1/3. Okay, I'm gonna call there. What he's gonna do now with hands like queens, kings, if they check jam it, that's like pretty great for us, because then we can easily play when they call this line. When they call this line, we can then attack. I'm gonna fold there. We can really attack when they check call the turn. That's why I really love to use this small size on the turn, because we just basically make them shove their overpairs a lot, and then their range is really bad, and we can take it on the river. We have nines on the table number 3. It's middle position versus cutoff. Again, I'm not familiar which ranges they will use, so I'll just think about what I think they're using. Question here is he calling hands like 3s, 4s, 5s on this board with the diamond, or 7s or 8s? He should be folding those hands. But we did use 1/4, so some of these hands need to be continued. Okay, I'm gonna fold the river. Yep, we don't have samples, so I'll just use my approximation from what I saw from the pool that pool is doing. Here we're gonna use bigger size against the smaller size. Okay, I'm just gonna go 14. It's pretty big, but his 3-bet is really small, so gonna go 1/4. We wanna bet whole range in this spot. Again, we don't know the range. We are calling the river against this player. Always we are calling a flop. Yeah, now we are jamming the river with basically, I think when the hand goes like this, we are jamming everything. All our floats, ace high is gonna be stick it in the river. When he check behind there and he raised the flop, he basically doesn't trap anything. And if he's doing that with some pocket pairs for I don't know what reason, because he has heavily range disadvantage, but when he check behind, he's gonna mostly fold. Okay. Table number 3, 3, 4, 5. We have check range of the position on this board. In position button GTO range from button is mixed about 4% of range, and it hits this board great because a lot of pocket pairs are there. We're gonna overfold to these spots a lot. Yep. We're gonna go 1/3 on King 7/9 against probably wide range. The guy called 3/8. The guy called 3/8. Shoot it on the small blinds. He's gonna call in position all the stuff. He's gonna have hands like probably 8-9 off, 7-8 off. We're double barreling for sure with our hand. Generally our range is really strong, and when our range is really strong, we can basically do whatever we want. We can use whatever size we want to use. Okay, this guy seems reggish. Ace deuce. I'm 3-betting big blind versus cutoff. Again, I'm using polar range from in this position, so you're gonna see that I call hand like ace jack, some ace queen, and I 3-bet hands like ace deuce suited, hand like king 7 suited. Yeah, I really like playing with polar range. It's great. It's really great. 6-9 we're gonna fold. Ace 3 we're gonna do opening against the big blind. Yep, and just to continue what I was trying to say about exploits. Exploits needs to be done generally carefully. If player can if your opponent can recognize and know how to punish what are you doing. If you think that they will not be able to do it, then you can go really with max exploit strategies. But to do max exploit strategies, you just need to know it's strategy that has the highest EV, definitely the highest possible EV, but it can get back as a boomerang. You know, that strategy is you do it when you know your opponent like back of your hand. If you know how he reacts, how he thinks, how he play every part of his range, or that part of the range that you're interested in the hand, where you want to do exploit strategy, then you can do exploit. But and also what is important, you can do it if you think your opponent will not be able to punish you. Because, for example, what in today's game is happening, people over c-bet in 3-bet pots massively. I see big blind versus the guy 3-bets with small blind versus button, and the board is 5-4-7 or 3-6-5, and I see his c-bets like 70-80% in that spot. You want to punish that strategy. And to know, to be able to punish them, first you need to know, okay, on the 4, 5, 6 small blind versus button, it's a board that doesn't hit him very well. He should be betting around 30% range. And he should be checking a lot of aces, kings, queens, a lot of ace king, ace queens, king queen. He should be checking really a lot in those spots. And if you see the guy is betting 70%, what you should be doing? You don't want to play. If you play GTO, you will behave like he's betting 30%, and then you will get in his way because he will realize a lot of equity, otherwise shouldn't be realized. So exploit in that spot is heavily attacked his c-bet with check raising. Check raise frequently. You can use smaller size, but frequently, and double barreling, betting the turn after check raise quite often, and you can even go with the small size again. I think that exploit is really hard to counter. Really hard to counter. Okay, I'm not sure this guy is reg or not, so if he's not reg, then I'm not using polar range. I'm using the normal linear range in these spots. Okay, we're gonna call there on table number 4, checking on the table number 3, and here we can go with the check or bet. I think it's I'm just gonna try to see if this guy is reg or not. We are checking the turn again. If this guy is reg, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna call. I think the ace is not that great. Okay. The turn we just have to call with our hand. Yeah. Table number 2, we have the easy call with eights. 6, 5, 9. If he's using the GTO ranges, he should be having hands like King 9, Queen 9, Jack 9 some of the time. Hand like 9, 10 also. When he checks there, I'm just gonna go betting small on the turn. I don't think he's checking, and he shouldn't be checking hands like kings and aces there. He should be betting a lot of hands. He has a lot of top pairs. If he's using the GTO ranges, I'm just gonna go small again on the river. I want to value bet. I can even go like this. I want to value bet tens there, jacks, because I think his range generally will be hands like ace king. Generally, I don't think he shouldn't be checking hand like 9x. So just gonna go 1/4 and bet tens, bet hand like ace 9 suited, hand like, and put that eights in that range also. I think it's nice. Rentacle asks really interesting question. At what stake do you think you should play mostly GTO? I think you should never play mostly GTO. I think you should mix GTO and exploit strategies. Mix it. I think that's the best, definitely the best way to go. Even on the biggest stakes, I think there's a lot of room for exploit. So you should always know GTO and play GTO, but when you see a room for exploit, you should always go for exploit. Jack deuce 2. The guy is really tight, and he's not calling a 3-bet with hands like off Jack X hands, and generally we have some of them. It was middle position. I would 3-bet. Basically, he is middle position, so I would have some ace jack off in the range, and he's not gonna call 3-bet with ace jack off, king jack off. So this board doesn't hit him really well. He's gonna do a lot of hands like 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s on this board, and hands like ace queen and suited broadways. So I think our 3-bet range is basically 8s, 9s plus. So we're gonna generally bet really high frequency. I'm gonna check again. So I wouldn't play because a GTO strategy is the best strategy. Of course, it's the optimal strategy, but uh, if people go away from it and you understand that they are doing that, you see, for example, they are over c-betting the spots they shouldn't be doing it. Okay, I'm gonna call 7-8. Then the best way to go with exploit strategies, because you'll punish them the most by that way. Okay, button versus big blind. He should be having 1/3 of the king queen off, 25% of ace queen off. So this range hits him. This flop hits him decent. Uh, he should be also having hand like ace jack, ace 10 off. A lot of ace 10 off is in 4-bet range. Most of ace 10 off is 4-betting. Hands like king jack off. So he's gonna bet here, probably whole range, if I have to guess. I'm gonna go like this. That. We'll go with the check. Okay. We're just gonna go to showdown to enable number 3. Yep, I'm just gonna go with call there. Gross river for us, for our range, because we have a lot of 9s, 10s, we have 6s, we have queen x. We're gonna call shove always. And I'm not sure if he's gonna shove now hand like ace 10 or ace jack, but he's gonna shove hand like king jack for sure. Wow. And from what I saw, that they will not jam here. They will not jam there. And ace queen suited is always a call of the 4-bet. It's always a call of the 3-bet. It's never a 4-bet. Yeah. I like to call in these spots because ace. I mean, 8 is okay hand for us. 8 is okay for our range because we have 8s, of course, and he's not having them a lot. So we have 7-8 suited, we have 6-7 suited, 5-6 suited. So generally the 8 is really better is for us than for him. So maybe we can donk on the turn also. It's not that bad. We can donk on the turn and we can jam on his double barrel also. But I decided to go with the call. Yep. The river is real bad for our range because he should be betting also ace king on the turn, ace jack, a lot of ace jack and ace 10 on the turn. So we just can't donk shove the river with our hand. Even I think generally people would like check ace 10 and ace jack on the river always. How many buy-ins do you suggest for micro stakes? It's interesting question because it all depends in what situation are you. When I started to play, I started for micros, but all the money I had it was all the money I have. So I had my savings and that's it. So I had to be really careful. But I think in today life, if you're living in a normal country, I think you just don't need to be a bankroll need. So I think I would say 30 buy-ins, 35 buy-ins is okay for micros, because it's not like you're gonna lose your money that is life dependent. Back in the days when I started, the situation in Croatia was really tough. It was it was big crisis. You know, it was really big crisis, and then I have to be a really big bankroll need. But in today's game, it's not that necessarily. Can we check shove 7-8 there on the turn? Definitely we can shove it. Definitely we can shove it. Don't like to, if I'm bluffing, I need to use basically a really small size. So we rep hand like 4s and 5s basically that wants to go to showdown against ace highs. There's no sense. We don't have many 3x hands. We don't have many our hand is consistent most of our pocket pairs, and we want to bet them really small to go to the showdown defensive bet. So I just have to put it in this range. he also looks like hand like nines, eights, sevens, but still I think our range wants to bet like this. We can definitely check shove there on the turn, and we can even donk the turn. Is better turn for us than for him. It gives us even nuts. I mean, eights are pretty much the nuts there. It gives us a lot of pair plus draw hands, a lot of equity, so it's better for us. I think it's even reasonable for him to check ace queen back on the turn, and we can punish him by shoving a lot. I didn't want to shove just because I wanted to see what he will do on the river. And we saw what he did on the river. He did get the two pair, but I wanted to see what he would play on the blank on the completing of the turn. That's why I didn't. But we can definitely easy shove there. I think even it's preferred the shove. Go with the bigger size here on the king jack 4. We're gonna go with an overbet on the turn. Table number 3. What is going on? The guy donks. We can definitely see he's a weaker player. Okay, let's go with an overbet there. Overbet there, and on the table number 3, I'm just gonna go with a fold in the 3-way. Okay, table number 4, tens are clear call. He should be having around 8% of hands, probably hands like 8s plus in this spot, mixing ace jack king queen off. I think he's gonna bet range there. I think it's fine to bet range. We are calling the flop against unknown. We are calling the turn always, also with tens. With tens, we block his no equity bluffs also a lot. Yeah. With tens, we are blocking the no equity bluffs also. Hands like jack 10 and king 10 should be bluffing suited. We just have to call the turn, because he should be betting jacks and kings and aces, and I see people just here just check with kings a lot on my limit. I think they will also do it a lot of here. Okay, yeah, we just have the clear check on the river. Okay, he has kings. I'm not sure how the hand went here. Did I ISO? Not sure. Okay, we're just gonna check. I'm gonna fall to really low aggression frequency. I'm just gonna see. I didn't. Yeah, we ISO. Okay, we want to bet here the flop. He reps is 7x basically. We're gonna go smaller size, half pot. Again, attack check ranges. I think do 6-8. I would say that he would bet majority of the over pairs, blind, big blind versus small blind. Just attack check ranges. Basically, it's all point of. Will you play Zoom at all for this challenge? No, for this challenge no, but after it we can make a Zoom series, so I can play NL 200 or even 500 Zoom. I played a little bit, so I have I know most players from normal tables, and when there is no a lot of action, I just for example in 5 a.m. in the morning, I just go to a little bit of Zoom. When I'm short at one table, or there's like two, three normal tables, I just add one Zoom. Okay, we're gonna check ace 3. So maybe after the we go limits through limits, we will finish. If the series goes as we planned, I would finish with high stakes. So I would finish with NL 500 or 400 if we play iPoker, and then we can make, if there was interest, if people would like to see stuff like that, and then we can do also Zoom. I played couple thousand of hands on Zoom, maybe like 10k in this last in this year when I'm short on tables. So I think I would, for example, let's say in 1 week I would be good if I had 1 week to practice it. Um, I think Ace King is not bluffing. Yeah, Ace 10. The guy checked. Okay. Not, no, I just don't understand here. Uh, Clear bet on the river. Let's go like this. So definitely I can play Zoom. If you want to see it, we can make also that challenge. But uh, in normal tables, it's much more of the table dynamics and stuff. And I think uh, to be able to do exploits on Zoom, you just have to go with the pool. You need to range research the pool, but because there is no table dynamics between you and the players at the Zoom at all. But in the normal tables, you can you can you can have massive impact on your win rate just based on the table dynamics. You can make sick calls, sick folds. It's all in table dynamics how the meta game is between you and your opponents going on. Okay, uh, we're gonna double barrel here always. King is great for, and this guy doesn't fold to c-bet at all, so he's gonna have all the pocket pairs. He's gonna have even some better ace highs like ace 10 probably in the range. So king is great for us, which is gonna double barrel it massively. Okay, so after this, I mean, if there will be interest, we can make like Zoom challenge where I will be playing only Zoom, and we can start whatever limits you want. Uh, I think I mean I feel good also on the Zoom tables, not not good as a normal one, but I feel okay. I would if I just can first label them just to know who is recro and who is not, then it's much easier to play. Queen 9 7. Again, our hand I would say, yeah, I would say we can just go with the delay and bluff the river. He's not gonna check behind Queen X very often. I think he will be having a lot of pairs. He can slow play hands like sevens, but I would say he's mostly having hands like fives or stuff like that. I think I'm just gonna go with an overbet. They're not checking back Queen X and this flop, this player, so okay, we're just gonna fold it. It feels like he hit the four pocket fours. Okay, I'm gonna check behind on this board. But again, just attack check ranges. Alright, a6 is basically it's not it's not you don't want to delay it as a bluff very often, but I think you can do it. Yeah, we're just gonna go 1/3 there. Yeah, and we're just gonna bet the river. They mostly check raise the flop immediate turn after delay with his hands like sets. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna go with the bigger size there. And definitely I would check behind a lot of flush draws on the 6, 7, 10 because it's pretty good board for the big blind against middle position. So I would be checking a lot of hands like ace king or ace queen of hearts. So I can have flush on the river. You know, people misplay those flush draws a lot. They just put them a lot of in betting range and only betting range. You need to bet a lot of flush draws when your range is crushing, but when the opponent range is better than yours, then you want to have a lot of flush draws in also checking range. Okay, we're gonna go 1/3, Queen 5 7. Basically, he just can't have a 2 pair off. That's really important in this spot. 5 7 off is not calling. Queen 7 and King a queen 5 is also not calling, so we just want to take there. 1/3 there, 8/9 call, king deuce, we're calling. Yeah, not that great river. Okay, 7.5 here. This hand is sometimes shoving as a bluff, but I will not do it until I know the players. Again, yeah, this is classic spot for bet check bet without anything basically, because uh, he looks mostly like queen x at highest, so I'm just gonna go with big size there, and even hands like 9-10 or jack 10 and ace 10 a lot, so we definitely go with the bet check bet line here. You will get enormous faults in this spot if you use this big size. So again, just you don't even need to be careful. You just go as really aggressively bet check bet bluffing in this situation. I would basically bet every hand I have. Any hand that doesn't have showdown value, it will be put in the bluff, and it will not be. They will basically, they can't do anything. They will not know how to respond. They will not bluff raise enough. That's most important. Is okay. They will maybe bluff catch you, but they will not bluff raise you really a lot. I'm just gonna go with give up on the, yeah, after queen king deuce 8 and we get the call. Okay, he's gonna have 3s, 4s, 5s that we are not blocking. If he checked there, I think then we probably can get away with again attacking these ranges, and but not in this situation. And he overbets the river. I think what he reps basically a flush. 8-6. We're just gonna fold. Okay. We're just gonna also label this as weaker player. Okay, king 10-5 check. This guy had, I'm not sure if this guy had the ace queen L Tobin when we had 7-8 suited. This was that guy. I think he was. Yep. Yes. This that guy. Okay. So he's a reg definitely. This spot is not that great. In a multi-way, I just want to see how he plays multi-way. This is his first step multi-way. I'm just gonna fold ace queen there. I'm not going to talk about that much of the multi-way pots because we're today, even they're really interesting, but one exploit in the multi-way pots you can do. I spoke about that. We're gonna go small on the turn. Again, when he check behind here, he looks really weak. So we're gonna bet small to put pressure on him to call with a lot of weak hands and then bluff the river. I want to say this, in the multi-way pots, on when you have player in position to you, and that player is a reg, on most boards you want to have check range, on most boards, because you're not equity favorite on, basically, there's only few boards that you are equity favorite. So on most boards you're not equity favorite, so you just can't have a lot of betting range. And when you arrange, when you add to that a range of one more player in a small blind or a big blind, basically checking range has most sense in many situations, but check range is really tricky to play in these spots, so you don't need to do it strictly, especially on lower limits, because you'll often have weaker player there. So in what one exploit is, what you can do, you can still put your vulnerable but strong hands like over pairs. For example, let's say the board is deuce 6-8 and you have 9s and 10s, and you should be checking range, you know, it's tricky to check those hands. You will give up a lot of equity realization and you don't want to do it. So you can be like this. You can bet small. It's important to bet small, and you can still put those hands always into the betting range, and you can then compensate with your best bluffs. And you want not best bluffs, your best bluffs wants to be, for example, if the board is, let's say, 4 jack 9, you want to bluff with hand like ace 4. You want to put those bluffs in. You want to block sets of your opponents, because that's the most strongest hand they can have. So it's not important to have the equity, but just turn those pairs into bluffs are really good idea, because you can then barrel it off, you know. Okay, we are against the weaker player also there. I'm gonna go up. Let's go 1/3. So let's say not having the check range, let's say betting 20, 15, 20 to 25% is better strategy in these situations. Uh, First, because you will get value from weaker players, and second, you will not give free equity realization. Against, like, on high stakes, it's different story, but when you have weaker players, you just lose value, and that's also important. You lose value. So exploitively, you can even put not just the blocker bluffs. You can also put some base blockers to opponent's strong hands also in the bluffing range, because people overfold in the multi-way pots also, and generally they play them really bad. So you can exploit that. So definitely better strategies to have a c-bet range in most board, even you're not equity favorite. We, we are checking on the jack 8-7 monotone this hand always, and a lot of hands, like 30% of betting range has sense. Okay, small overbet on this board is the best. Okay, table number 2, we are calling. On this board we are not, we have fours and ace 4 suited and king 4 suited, but king 4 suited is not that strong enough as a check raise. We're going to defend mostly by calling it. A big range disadvantage for us. I'm going to check behind ace. I think we will just bet the normal size here. I think this size has the most sense. When he check behinds here, he's often really weak, so betting like this or even 1/3 is fine. Okay, let's add another table. Nope. Okay. Table number 2, folding queen 3 suited. Jack 5 here also folding. No. Jack 5 fold. Okay. You know, it's always better to 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 have the opportunity to be exploited, but not to lose value, because you give opportunity to be exploited, but to be exploited, the people need to take that opportunity and use it, and it's not that easy to do. People will not have easy time doing it, so it's better to lose. I'm talking about multi-way pots and c-bet range. So it's better to lose. It's better not to lose value and not to give a free equity realization, then possibly to be exploited by raising in position, because people, if they notice that you are basically over c-betting, and you are, if you're putting a lot of even bluffs or all the over pairs there, uh, People just go. People in position can go and raise really a lot on you, but they will not be. They will not having easy time to doing it. Even if they know how to do it and they know it's not 100%, they will always do it. So this guy doesn't. It's a nitty player. He doesn't have nuts in the range. He doesn't have 6-9. He doesn't have 9-jack, except 9-jack suited, which we are blocking. So I'm just gonna go with a bet. He's gonna call on the flop. He's gonna call pocket pairs. On the turn, he's gonna fold them sixes, maybe call, but even that is not that great. Uh, a lot of 10x. He should be donking the river with 9x here, and he's not doing it. So he looks to me like 10x mostly with a quick call. So I'm just gonna bet again, and I'm gonna use smaller size. Yeah. Jack 4 we're gonna fold. Big blind we are calling a 3-bet with this hand. Folding the flop, ace 8-8. Again, we don't know if the guy has polar range or not. He's checking behind the board that he should be betting really aggressive. Even if he has the polar range, he should be betting basically all of it, because his range has, if he's using polar, he has hand like 8-10 off, 8-9 off, 8 jack off, and a lot of hands like ace highs, ace deuce off, ace 6 off, ace 8 off is also part of the tree, but ace 7 off. When he's checking there, it feels suspicious to me. Okay, he can have kings and now he looks like kings or queens and jacks that we were blocking, but mostly I think he looks like a kings to me. Okay, jack 3 we're folding, ace jack. Our hand is not that great. Bluffing on the river, we are never bluffing. It's not that great as a block betting because we're going to be mainly against kings. So not that great spot. Okay. We are getting some sample. This is, I think, my fifth session. So couple of 100 hands we have on some guys, but we have 300 here. But generally it's nothing, and it will not be reliable in any way. I'm gonna open there, and I think the pool is also really big, so it doesn't have many sense to even look at the sample, because it will not show us basically nothing reliable. Now I really want, what is his double? Check on the flop multi-way. He should be checking multi-way a lot of ace-x hands, and they are not doing that. So is he looking like a, like he bets hand like a king 10, let's say, and this guy also looks like a king. We'll see now. Yeah, this guy looks like a king, and what this guy had, nothing. Yeah, because they, if this guy didn't call, I think we have easy call with jacks, because they are not checking back enough top pairs to be able to delay step. That's the problem, and he didn't bluff the river also. I'm gonna check. I'm not sure how his range looks like, how much hands he's defending also. We're gonna go with the one big blind there. I'm gonna go like overbet on the turn and one big blind on the flop. Okay, I'm just gonna bet the river. Queen X doesn't help him at all. Now he basically reps 7x, that check behind, and they tend to, you see, this is 7-7-10. He, I think he defends wider in the big blind, and he will have hand like a king 7 off, and we will not have that. So he will have advantage in trips. And for what I see, he should be then aggressively stabbing, and there I see the weaker guys are just checking back 7-7-10 with 7x. Uh, when he calls the orbit here, he's not gonna turn hand like 10x into bluff. He's not gonna turn, and he's not gonna probably check behind hand like a 10x. So he's not turned here fives into bluffs or sixes into bluffs, or hand like ace deuce into bluff, I think. So I'm just gonna go with a fold. If we are playing unknown, I'll just play like what I think the pool is playing. So easy bet here with the normal side. We want to bet hand like ace x always, so I'm just gonna go with 5. Okay, we can call there. The guy is 77, 17, 7. I don't want to 3-bet 9-10 suited when he's not full stack, so bigger size is better, but I want to keep him in the pot. This is I really like stabbing 1/3, and now I'm just gonna go with a raise because that king, okay, you can have ace king, but can you donk on the turn ace king, and you should be also betting it, so I will go with the raise. We have ace 10, we have 9-10 like we have, and I think he's playing the set in this way. This doesn't look that great. Yeah, we just have to show it, but it looks like an ace 10. Oh, I think he played it really bad. He just really overplayed the hand. He just really overplayed the hand. Yeah. We are raising there, we are not raising 2 pair, we are basically raising a straight, and he goes with a 3-bet into the range that's wrapping a straight. But you always have to also take that in consideration when you want to make a big fold, or is he gonna overplay a hand? Is he gonna overplay the hand? That's also really important there, and this guy definitely did overplay the hand. We are wrapping when we raised his donk, we are wrapping a straight. We have a straight or a bluff, and that 3-bet, I think it's a clear shove. If you want just shove. This looked really strong with a hand that shouldn't be doing with that size. Okay, we are there. 4-betting ace king, pretty standard. This guy is probably also regish stats. He should be calling hands like 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s. Ace queen off is always a call. This is also a pretty good board for us. We have 1/3 of the ace jack off, 1/3 of the king jack off, so really strong board for us. We're just gonna go 1-4 there. Jacks are shoving pre, so 9s are calling. He's gonna have also 8s, 10s, king queen suited. This doesn't have sense. We are blocking ace king, we are blocking ace jack and king jack suited, which I think is important here. He's not playing 10s like this, he's not playing 8s like this, he's not playing 9s like this, he's not playing jacks like this. I think he will mostly have a flush draw in this spot. Hand like a king queen or ace 10 of diamonds. Gross. Okay, we gotta call Jack 10. Yeah, but I think really bad play also. Definitely weaker player. Uh, there is no hand that wants to jam there, basically. You know, uh, you want to check raise. Yep, you want to check raise. When I bet 11, you want to go 25 with that hand if you want to do it. But jam, it looks so. When you think how a range looks like, you want to shove Queen Jack there. Do you want to shove Queen Jack into range that is for bet bluffing King Jack and Ace Jack? You don't want to shove it, so. And I think here blocking Ace Jack is really important. But even Ace Jack just want to check raise, and he's not gonna shove eights and tens, and he's then definitely over bluffing. I've seen this play really a lot also in my limits. They just shove there a lot, and they don't think how their range looks like and how my range looks like, and my range is really crushing that board. Okay, we're gonna 3-bet this king queen. We are 3-betting, but mostly calling big blind versus cutoff, but sometimes we put it also there. Folding it to 4-bet. Okay, 3-bet it here and also here on table number 2. I think it's really bad play. Yep. They don't think about the range that much. If they have flush draw, they shove, stuff like that. When I check raise or raise, I'm gonna fold. I always look how my range looks like. What is the board? How boards hits him? How hits me? That's all stuff is really crucial to make a strategy. But people just go with the hand. If you go with the hand, you just die with the hand. Why he doesn't shove 9-9 there? Do you see ever that people with the set go with the shove? You bet 11 and he shoves 86. I never seen that. When they have a set, they or slow play or just check raise it like 3x or 2.5x. I don't see a shove in that spot. Shove is always like this. Uh, double check. If he checks now, we just have to bluff it. And I just want to see what we're gonna rep. Yep, I agree. It's really bad. I'm just gonna go with the big bet now. I think it's that important what we rep. It's that he did triple check. That king queen hand is terrible. I agree. Really annoying hand. Really annoying when they play like that. I mean, he did get crushed and he won the hand, but from what I see in that hand is that he just isn't aware of his range. You know, just look his 4-bet calling range. Let's look his 4-bet calling range. His 4-bet calling range and his 4-bet calling range looks like this. He should be having part of 5s, 6s, that he's 3-betting. 5s and 6s is like 30% 3-bet. 7s, and he usually will call against my small 4-bet size. He will call all of these pocket pairs. So 7's gonna call, 8's gonna call. Hands like king queen is there, hand like ace queen is there, hand like jack 10 suited, 9-10 suited, ace 8-9 suited. We are calling there. Okay, all of these hands are there. So a lot of pocket pairs, a lot of weak jack x hands, and our range 4-bet bluffs is always ace jack off. It's always king jack off. We have all the queens, kings, and aces that he's not having. He's jamming most of the jacks pre-flop. I'm gonna fold turn there. Yep, his range is so weak on this board, and he decides to shove 8x against our c-bet. It's terrible. If he did check raise, I think it's great. I would probably shove on his check raise, but still I think it's far better play than this. It just showed that he isn't aware of the range at all. He just played the hand. He just thinks, okay, I'm just gonna shove. Maybe he will fold the ace king. But our hands has so many top pairs. He doesn't think about that. And yeah. Queen 9 deuce. We are mainly calling 3-8 suited, betting the all range here. Yeah, we are calling the turn with the gut shot also. We can bet small, we can bet or bet. I think it's okay, one way or another. I think I'm gonna go with an orbit. This guy is also probably a reg based on the play that he did make. I think we just have to call the turn always with the gut shot. Even when he orbets, he basically reps most straight. Mostly the straights are orbiting with this size. Yeah, my hand is calling turn. We are 4-betting here. Called 4-betting, calling there. Stabbing here. He should be stabbed with the orbit size usually when he steps, because ace is so good card for us. We're gonna stack off with the queens. When he has that bigger size, I think mostly ace king. Okay, queen 6. Just gonna check the. Again, this hand doesn't have sense. If you're not bluffing, the river doesn't have any sense. Generally, if you're doing this, you need to bluff the river. In general, I don't think. I would play it as a delay check raise probably, but betting there, I think it's really bad. With this size, especially, and you're now checking the river, doesn't have sense. If you're bluffing it, you need to bluff it on river. Is his logic, okay, I block ace king and ace queen, I'm gonna step the turn. If that is his logic, he just has to continue on river. But I will give you some my personal pool analysis. My pool is under bluffing the river after betting turn enormously, especially when I compare it against a hero. They're under bluffing in most spots really significantly, and these spots are mostly like bet in 3-bet pots, bet shove, and especially in 4-bet pots, bet. Their bet shove or bet shove the turn is so strong, and they don't play it also correctly because you want to bet really small on many flops. In position or out of position, 1/4 out of position is a lot in 4-bet pots, and 1/3 on turn, and they just go with the tour pairs, like bet 1/3 on flop and immediately shove the turn. We are calling the turn with the queen jack. He gets the jack 10 on the turn on the river, and he just check behind. You see, we have 9% flushes on the river, and even less because we're gonna fold to double barrel this big. We're gonna fold many flush draws. Basically, 90% time he's beating us and he's checking. The pool in NL10 is definitely under bluffing every possible spot. That's for sure. I have a couple of guys that work with me that play NL25, NL50, and a 100, and in all of these pools I see they're under bluffing. Most spots they're just under bluffing, and most spots are, when they bet turn, they're gonna bet turn a lot with equity or even without equity, but they just stop on the river enormously stop on the river. And also they don't value bet thin. That's also really what I see. So exploitably, what that means, when you think logically, what that means, if they are not bluffing enough rivers, but they barrel a lot on the turns, what do you think what that means? That means that basically what you want to do, exploitably, you want to really light call on the turn with your bluff catchers and then overfold these bluff catchers on the river. It's such a great strategy, but I don't like to play that strategy because I always go I always want to defend approximate frequencies. So if I know the call is GTO call, I'm not gonna fold it. I would need to have really strong proof that I have to fold, even from HUD or meta or table dynamics or knowing my opponent's 100%. Then I can make that type of default. But generally, the really good exploit strategy is, and it's great because they will barrel turn a lot, and when you call lightly on the turn with your like, when the hand is sometimes fold, sometimes call on the turn, just call it always and fold it on the river, and you will not gonna you're just gonna see a lot of rivers that they check behind, like pure air, non shown hand, so they don't have shown down a value, but they just give up. When you see something like that, the best strategy is then to call a lot on the turn, even with your weakest bluff catchers, and then just fold a lot on the river, because the pool will just not. I'm gonna fold. The pool will just not exploit you in that matter. I think it's a really risky play to do it, but I think especially on lower limits, the players that are playing on that way, I think they have the highest success. Uh, Even they are not that good, they just know, okay, pool is under bluffing, bet line. Uh, I don't want to bluff catch at all, and but they will bet it on the turn. But you also have HUD can help you with that. Uh, but generally, from what I see from the pool that my guys are playing, definitely they are under bluffing the river, especially after betting turn. I have the in the range research bet river after betting turn. It's under bluffed in many spots. Even like the rivers that are good for their range, they just don't bluff it, and they are really good for their range. And we are calling, of course, with 5-6. So definitely, it's risky strategy, and you need to know whenever you're doing the. We have eights here, we have seven, we have tens. We're just gonna bet all of those hands when it's checked. 1/3 on the table number 2. It's okay. Now we have basically two street hand. We are chopping with the king, so our kicker is not doing for us. And on the river we are on the river. Defensive betting, really nice play. Big size there on the table number 4. Again, big size. Gross river. Happy just have to check there. I think he's gonna have queens a lot with the hearts. Really gross river. I think we probably lost the hand. We are maybe winning a hand like king jack, but that's it. Or hand like ace jack, but mostly we are losing against queens, I would say. Ace queen. Ace queen. Yep, on the river I just knew it's over. we just put the money when we were in front, really nice, and I use the bigger size. Exploitably, I would never do this against my pool, against Rex. I would never do this. I would check behind the flop here with this hand, and on the turn I would bet 1/3. But against the weaker players, you just want to get it in while you're good. And the river is that we are not winning against anything. Basically, we are losing against King Queen. We are losing against Ace Queen. We are losing against queens. Um, Rentacle says, and that's definitely correct, that when he played these stakes, triple barrel was a bluff. Yeah, it was really low frequency as a bluff. I see it in the range research. It's basically never a bluff, and especially in 3-bet pots. And like check raise the turn in 3-bet pots is the nuts. Check shove, when they check shove, they don't mix bluffs. They just, and they're just that much kept. They're so kept when they're calling the turn also in that spot, especially if it's drawy board. And I always attack those spots. But yes, it's definitely true what Rentacle is saying. Ivan says that he can understand giving up rivers. People are, people don't like to lose money generally, and they're afraid of. On the turn, you can get something on the river. You can hit some equity. You can get the best hand. You can suck out. But on the river, on the river, it's like in the Middle West. It's gun to gun, and there is no running away. There is no nothing. It's face up. If your bet got called, it's face up. So people tend to just really. I'm gonna fall to this size. Over bluffing is great. Yep. We just can't say generally over bluffing is great. But over bluffing in the spots that are under bluffed against the player that understands that, I would say it's great. Also, you want to over bluff the spots where your range is super strong, because you have many value hands. So over bluff in the spots where your opponents are weak and you have a lot of value hands. That has sense. I'm gonna call here. I'm gonna fold against the squeeze. I'm gonna fold there. Kinobi. Okay. 3 jack will be folding. Okay. We just lost a couple of players that we had sample on. Okay. Queen 9-7, King 5 is calling. We are not. This hand will not do anything. Looks like a pocket pair or like middle pair hand on a delay. I would say that Ivan, people first they think not to lose, then other what they think is how to win, but generally that is their mindset. We're gonna go through betting, but poker, I think poker is different game, and you need to watch it differently. We are just checking first there. I don't ever see it in poker. I'm not ever mad when I just triple bluff it and get called. I'm never mad on that. I mean, if I think it's a good spot, I'm just gonna do it. But if there is no logic behind, you just go bomb it, pot, bet, shove, then I think it's a problem. You always want to do something and have a reason why you're doing that. Without a reason and logic and strategy, you're just clicking buttons. That's the most important thing. I'm gonna go with this 466. I'm just gonna check. I'm gonna fall there on the overbet. He did overbet once, we don't know it. Checking there, queen jack, we're gonna open it. It all also depends on the style of play. Queen 10. Folding on 458, we are having check range. You know what I also see on my limits? Just the people just go with c-betting 9s, 10s on the 458. I see c-betting ace queen, I don't know, king queens, hands like that. And when you see stuff like that, exploit, you just want to go to the exploit strategy and go raising a shit out of them. You just go with the raise. You just don't even want to call. You have hand like 6s raise. You have hands like 3s raise. You have hands like, let's say, ace 5 raise. You know, just go with raising and attack these ranges, because over c-betting is annoying to be played against, but it's really easy to be. You just punish them with check raising and raising in position really a lot. Because, okay, they will maybe call the flop, but what will they do on the turn and reverse when they have so big range into into the c-bet range? And especially out of position, you want to punish these strategies immediately. Let's say 7, not 37. Yep. Nice spot. And this guy is also, I think, weaker player. I think the best way is always look on poker. You just don't look for like result oriented poker. No, never. The bluff can be good, and you can be called 3 out of 3 times. You know, don't be result oriented. You can play hand great and be called 3 out of 3 times, and you will maybe say to yourself, "Yo, why would I do it?" I never say like that. If the spot is good, if your range is crushing, if your opponent range is weak, if you're attacking in the right spots, you will get called sometimes. It's poker. You will also get called when you have the nuts. It's like it goes. Rentacle says, do I think that play short stack can be profitable? I just don't understand the people that play short stack. I think I would generally forbid to people to play short stack, because that indicates to me a lack of courage, a lack of knowledge, and lack of balls, and I don't like that type of people. It can be, everything can be playing profitable if you're playing better than the pool, than the players you're playing against, but short stackers are, I would say, no balls, no knowledge, and not enough knowledge, and no courage. I would describe them like that. Let's play 1BB, do 7-10. He should be calling a lot of on one big blind. People will not know how to defend. He needs to slow play flushes. He needs to check raise a lot of hands that he's not going to check raise. So on that 7, I'm just gonna go with the check. Yeah, I don't think they will play it correctly. This hand is, I think, clear. He played it clearly. I don't like that 7x on the turn to continue with our hand, but I think on the 4th color we also have really great, really great bluff. Okay, we went to bluff, and I don't like to bluff in the middle card pair, because it's generally better for out of position player. Okay, we are betting. I'm gonna bet 1/3 on the a6-9. For example, here we don't want to bet a lot. We are betting like 40% in this spot, not more. We are checking some ace queens here, a lot of them. Even ace king is checking sometimes. Okay. But against a weaker player, I'll just forget all about it and just gonna bet the turn. Okay. Double check, we're gonna bet. He should be donking the river really often. Turning jack into bluff has sense, definitely, because all the ace high that he's having, we are not having it in this line. Massive advantage on the river. He should be definitely turning middle pairs into bluffs because his range is so strong. He didn't do it, so great for us. Jack 9 we're folding, Queen 10 suited we are folding again. This guy just likes to shove on us, it seems. Yep, it seems like it's just one of those days. Even last session I played, I was shoved on open shot. I open and get shoved like 150 blinds couple of times. One time we had ace king suited and the guy had aces. That was pretty funny. It was in the end of the last video. If you didn't check it out on the poker strategy, the video is second in the series and we talk about the exploit. I did explain a lot of exploit strategies, how to do it, when to do it, and there's examples on the video, so you can check it out. If you didn't, go into the poker strategy video section and you'll find the video. Part 2, exploits, all about the exploits. Ivan, do you play Omaha? Ask me, do I play Omaha? No, I don't play Omaha. I don't like it that much. I just don't like it that much. I mean, I just better like Hold'em, but I could play it. I think it's also, it's interesting. I think especially live it's interesting. But I just prefer Hold'em. I really enjoy playing Hold'em. And I think that the best game in the world is No Limit. No Limit heads up Hold'em. I think the PLO is also definitely great game. Okay, it has more variants, but in that game also a lot of courage, a lot of balls are needed. You can make big bluffs also. Maybe No Limit Omaha is a bit better, I would say. They play No Limit Omaha also live. I would say No Limit Omaha is better. PLO, that I don't like when you are restricted to bet on a pot. I just love that feeling you can just shove any time you want. It's so great feeling. I mean, I knew to make like the pot is like 10 blinds and I go shove 100 blinds. And people are looking on. I just love when you do stuff like that, and you can put all the chips in whenever you want. That's something I like the most. So, but I think it's also really skilled game. Definitely skilled game. We're checking the turn. Okay. I'm gonna fold the turn there. What you rep here? Let's on 3x. I don't see any hand that has sense to be played like this. Any hand. We're gonna just keep 3-betting. This guy doesn't fold to 3-bet, so his range. Again, look. Let's see this spot. 5, 6, 8. Generally, in these spots, you want to have really low c-bet frequency. I generally play this as a check range. I just check all my hands. But when you have weaker player, you're just gonna go with the bet. You have big range disadvantage, you want to play defensively, but that all changes when you have the weaker player. All that changes. Vibes, man. Seems like a nitty reg. Really nitty. I would check raise hand like 6, 7. with the backdoor, hand like 7-9 with the backdoor, but 4-7 it's nothing. And I think live also, live games, live poker is really great. Live poker is, and I'm really looking forward to be playing live. Okay. And live is so skillful. You just need so much skill in reading people, observing them, finding their tells. Really, really. Against him, I think we just want to bet smaller. Against this type of players, our hand is basically two street hand, and I want to just have it on the flop and turn, because I will be bluffing this board a lot, and putting jacks there just has most sense. Mm, do I plan to play it on Croatian poker site Super Sport Omaha? I will see. I mean, I just like Hold'em more, but if the games are good, uh, I can play it. But I don't enjoy to play that much, you know. I just love more Hold'em, so I would always choose Hold'em over it. But for example, if there is no Hold'em at that time, then we can do it. Then I could play. I also played live. It was like 4 a.m. and everybody was going home, and the tables were broken, and then all there was only PLO table running, and I played PLO, and it was really interesting table. There was crazy action going on, so in that spot, okay, I can play. But if I can choose, I would always rather choose Hold'em. But live poker, I mean, that's something really, really great. Okay, and also, uh, I think uh, other day I was talking about the about director of PokerStrategy. We're talking about the difference between live and online, and also how how big is the gap. For example, the guys that are playing, let's say, uh, 10-20 live, what is their skill when you put them online? Yes, I agree with Trent Tackle, but if you need to say, okay, uh, let's say 5-10 live and 10-20 live, when you compare it to online, it's huge difference. I would say, based on from what I played live, and I played most I played 5-10 live. There wasn't even that games were really, really deep. Uh, we played it 500 blinds. Most of the table have 500 blinds, so it was much more than 5-10. But generally, I would say that all 90% of guys that I played live on that limits couldn't beat 10 out 20. Most of them, more than 90%, I would say. So it's a big, big gap. And just think about what can NL 500 Zoom reg, winning reg, do on a live games. I mean, he would probably massacre all the high stakes also. I mean, I just saw that show uh, where Garrett played against that I don't know how he's called, Robbie. Half of that table, I mean, it was ridiculous. That Robbie that played biggest high stake game, she doesn't know the basics of bluff catching and blockers. Some blockers play nothing. Just think about one NL 500 zoom reg. He would he would basically crush them all with the skill set that he needs to have to be winning this type of games. And most of that lineup against Garrett, except Garrett and maybe Andy, was I don't think they would beat NL 50 or NL 100. I mean, some of them wouldn't beat NL 5. So it's really big difference, big enormous difference. It's like other game. It's like, I would say, maybe it's like poker. Live poker is maybe like online before 30 years or 20 years. I think checking again. We have two streets. I don't see what we can get. Nines should be tributing a lot. Tens also. So we are not getting value. He's falling 99 to a c-bet. We are blocking ace highs. Um, 1/3. What is this guy repping again with this big size? He's really aggressive on rivers. I would say he reps basically a flush there. Or 4x. This is his river general aggression, but his river aggression is really high. Yeah, I'm just gonna call there. I don't see. I mean, he's basically repping a flush. That runner flush, or hand like a 4x. Okay, let's just bluff with it with 3x. Just doesn't have any sense. Yeah, doesn't have any sense. We are betting the flop. We are betting majority on this board where he doesn't have, where his range is 90% there. I'm checking here because I want to induce a bluff there, and he's not betting queen x or king x with this size, and he just chooses to bluff with the jack x. So with the 3x. So if he's bluffing that, he's then really over bluffing. So I think, yeah, if he's bluffing with a pair there, then I mean our call is gonna be really profitable. What he's gonna do with all the hands, all the draws that he's gonna have on the flop, hands like 5 6 6 7, he's gonna have all of those hands, and he's gonna have floats probably also, and he's gonna have worst ace highs. If he's bluffing the 3x, he's gonna bluff all of those stuff also. So I think it's fine. Okay, we're gonna call that. We are check calling this board. I'm gonna go with an orbit. I want to be polarized here when he check behind, so I think it's fine. And I want to see a size there. I think normal size, but I would say he called pretty quickly, so he has a hand that is easy call. I see a lot of king x hands there. I don't want to shove there on the river with the full house. That's, we are blocking the board, so I'll just use the normal size. Red Tackle has interesting stories. Let's say, true story. I played 1-3 live 8 years ago, and the people weren't able to beat NL2. 8 years ago, they were saying PokerStars is rigged. Uh, they say those things even the last time I played, so that didn't change. 99% of them just can beat online, and they just say it's rigged because they just can beat it. I I I Rentacle, I'm 100% sure that you are right. That's With the ace of diamond, I don't want to shove the flop. I'm gonna fold the turn. Yep, even when I was playing live, always when somebody starts to talk about the when somebody starts to talk about the online poker, it's always I lost so many six coolers like this, I lost that, it's impossible and stuff like that. I mean, it's always the same story. We see a donk in the multi-way pot. We see a lot of crazy things. He's donking into range that has the nuts and he doesn't have anything. He doesn't have queens, kings, he doesn't have eights, he should be squeezing all of those hands, and he donks into the range of the preflop raiser that has all of this stuff. Yeah, it's just crazy. Just crazy stuff. Okay. For example, here he should be checking like 60% range. He should be betting like 40%, 30 to 40%. I think we can donk there, actually, with eights. And what people are doing, they are immediately raising hands like tens, jacks, queens, kings, and aces, and that's really big mistake. Okay. This guy is really, it's not that bad. It's really smart to use this small of the size. We're just gonna call. He used really small size, which I think it's good idea, good play. Maybe he wants to see if I will go 3-bet him on the flop immediately. I'll go with the check. Okay. I wanted to do. Okay, he has ace queen. He did really smart thing, but this small raise is actually really intelligent thing to do, because now when you think, he can then think, if I'm not going to 3-bet a lot here, he can be good with overpairs, you know. But when he's 3-betting here, actually I'm going to defend a lot of with calling also sets and stuff like that. So I think the best way, I want to see his hand, that's why I didn't bet the river. But generally the river is defensive betting always, because our hand most will be good in this line, so defensive bet 1/4 on the river is good. Definitely good play. Okay, let's go. Table number 1. Had a good hand. Okay, jack 9 also. We're gonna 3-bet deuce jack suited. We have a polarized range. Let's see how he defends. He opens really a lot, so yep, live poker is definitely, I mean, I really enjoy to playing it, but 99% of people that play live because they can beat online. It's the truth, because why would you sit in the generally every day or often, like if you're reg, why would you sit in the casino when you can be playing from home? Okay, if you're playing big tournaments, then I understand, but generally like cash players, why would you go from your family every night, go and play in casino with surrounded with that environment that is, you know, that environment is not that great. I always feel in casino, I feel like, I know when you see all those people gambling and stuff, I always feel a little bad, and it's not like the place and surrounded environment that I want to be surrounded by. I'm actually gonna call Queen 10 until I know guy looks 12-12. Ivan, that's not sure 100%. I will tell you why. Because when I'm playing live, everybody's going to me. They take my hand and say, "Please sit on my table." They just love to play against me. They think I'm a big fish. Uh, because I play also live. I play like I play online. Do a lot of overbets. Do a lot of bluffs and things that they don't understand. So when they see me like uh, before like 3 years, I played on on those 5 to 5 limits. So but it was in Perla, and 2 5 there is I played with 5k euros. So it was 1000 big blinds, and most of the guys on the tables have 4, 3, 4, 5. Somebody had even more because you don't have the max amount you can buy in for. So uh, I made a sick bluff where I was shoving on the river in a 4-bet pot, and the guy called me the ace high, and they was always saying, "This is that guy." I know they were pointing fingers at me, and they all wanted to play against me. So they didn't say that for me to think that they are the fish, because they think of me as a fish. So they're always like, when they see me, they always come to our tables, come to our tables. They're always saying like that. Yeah. No, definitely. Most of them, even one guy wanted to play heads up with me. Yeah, and the guy was real bad. I'm gonna go with the overbet there. Okay. I'm gonna fold. I'm not sure what the guy is repping there. I mean, what hand can accept 8-10 raise on my overbet? We have all the jacks there and aces. We are checking back a lot. That was the last time I played live cash before Corona. I didn't play for 3 years now, but that was really the true story. They will always saying, "Come to our table." I mean, and I'm not. They're not. They don't think I'm that friendly, so they want to speak with me or talk with me, because mostly at the tables I just don't talk with anybody, Uh, and I have depths, really a lot of depths in live poker in Perla. Uh, there are some depths I need to collect. Yep. And I would, now when I just think about that, I would be like, really, I would like to play immediately now. Yep. Okay. I just have a feeling. Uh, mm, I just have a feeling that that I just didn't play the best I could in many of these spots. So I would like to have that revenge. I will play live soon, but I will not go there in Perla. I will play in probably Prague, Razorado, and Berlin, and most tournaments. Do you apply GTO at all in live games? I mean, you definitely want to apply GTO, because if you know the GTO, you know basically the strategy that needs to be, and you can then realize what your opponents are doing and what it should be doing, and how they are different from the GTO, how far they are going from the GTO. So knowing GTO is crucial in all spots, and then I think the best way is approach is just to go with the exploit play there. You just exploit them. Like here, you want to attack, because you know they are playing really. Most of them play really straightforward. For example, their three betting range is they they four bet only. Their four bet range is mostly kings and aces, and they, if they bluff, they put bluff some without sense, like a7 off. I'm just gonna four bet because I'm mad. I'm just gonna fold there with this. Going 1/3 there, I think it's really good. This is the hand we need to check on the turn, but against a weaker player with that aggression, I think bet is way to go. Let's see what the other guy had. Ace queen. Let's see how this guy played. So definitely knowing GTO will help you a lot, but I think they are so far from the GTO that you just have to punish them a lot. You just have to punish them. Their ranges is badly constructed in every way. 3-bet range doesn't have a lot of sense. They overcall every position. They have calling ranges. They're not doing 3-bet or fold. I'm gonna fold to pot size against unknown. Yes, you need to adjust to a live game. There are a lot of multi-way pots, and they play multi-way really insanely. They bet 3/4 in the multi-way pot and stuff like that. They use bet ranges with c-bet ranges in multi-ways. Yeah, definitely. Like Avan says, it's different game than the online poker. It's definitely different. Uh, but you have to adjust to it. Um, just think when your 4-bet range is aces, kings, and bluffs. Just think about what it means. That means that when I call 4-bet against you and the board is 6, 7, 8, what you gonna do? The board is 7, 8, 9, what you gonna do? The board is 9, 10, jack, what you gonna do? Basically, on many boards, you can just crush them, especially when you're playing really deep. You play, like in Pearl, I played 1,000 blinds. 1,000 blinds you have, 1,000 blinds you have, and you 4-bet me and I call a 4-bet, and I'm not gonna fold anything to your 4-bet because just think 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, 9. We have all the sets, all the stuff. They'll just be so. And what I see, like in 4-bet pots, when they bet like 2/3 or 3/4, just think about that. What you can do to them. It's insane. It's really insane. So yeah, live poker definitely different game. This guy probably has in the range hands like king, jack, king, queen off, a lot of blockers in play. Against this type of player, I'm gonna fold the river. Okay. Definitely different game, but really interesting game. Really interesting game because you need to, you need to just adjust. You need to know, okay, I'm gonna play many multi-way pots. You just need to see what are they doing, how are they doing it, what is their strategy, because if you don't know their strategy, you just can't know how to play against them, if you want to play exploit. To be able to play exploit poker, you need to perfectly know GTO, you need to know what they are doing really with high certainty, and then you need to know how much they are going away from the GTO. Without that, you just can't play exploitably. Rent tackle, I agree 100% again. They when the flush comes, and even in online poker, it's the same. Basically, people just don't go into the range versus range interaction. You see, like flush completed. In many cases, you will have like 10% to 15% of flushes on the river. Your opponent will have, and you just go flush cam here. Okay, I'm done. This is insane. Sick. I'm just gonna check everything. They have set the flush is there, okay, nothing, they'll check stuff like that. That's the they overestimate. They don't even know how much percentage of the range is flush on the river. How much your opponent has flushes on that river, how much. Deuce 5-7, you're going to do a lot of checking. Ace 4 can go with the check raise as a check call. We can do it both way. When he check behinds here, I think we just want to go with an overbet. When they check behind there, I think they will be mainly really weak hands, like maybe 3s and 4 tops. A lot of ace highs. Our hand is definitely overbet on the turn. They overestimate the flush on online also, because To be able to know how much flushes your opponent have, you need to know his range. You need to know range versus range interaction. How much flush draws he's gonna check raise on the flop. How much flush draws he's gonna call the turn. Also, you just need to know. Okay, his range is that, and his range consists of all these hands. Um, okay, he's calling top pairs, middle pairs, ace highs on the turn, and how many flush draws. Just count the combinations, and when you see that there's like three times more of the top pair, middle pair hands, uh, then you will have a feeling. Okay, on that river, that flush is not that scary, or runner flush is not that scary. He's not gonna have many of those. He has like 15 combinations of flushes. It's like 15% of range, not that bad. And then I see people they use a couple of sizings. They use with the flush, they use orbit size, and with no, you just put most sizing most range in one size, because on the river you want to bet overpairs, sets, flushes all together, and people player will not know. Okay, you bet the river there. He will not have a easy time to figuring out what you're betting. And I think that's the reason why also Solar doesn't overbet that much when the flush completes, because he wants to bet his range without problem still, and his range still consists a lot of top pairs hands, overpair hands, sets and stuff, two pairs, you know. So this is the crucial what you said. To be able to know how much flushes and to not overestimate the flush, you just need to know range, how the range looks like, and range versus range interaction. It's a crucial thing. 4-5 we're gonna fold. This is really weird because he should be betting like all range 1/3 there, and he's checking. I'm not sure why. Now it looks like to me, is he slow playing, or no? Now I think he's doing it with a hand like. I'll go with the raise here. I think he has mostly hand like tens and jacks. I'm just gonna go with the raise. I have ace 4. I have pocket trees, and I'm pretty sure that he has hand like jacks and queens and tens, and I'm just gonna shove the river there. And because I would play this also king queen this way. When he's not betting the spot he should be betting, my strategy in this spot is I'm going to check a lot of value hands. I'm just going to check behind a lot of value hands, just because he should be betting this board really high frequency. He's checking it. I'm just going to protect all my range by checking back. That's like classic example is I talk about that also when it's ace xx board. That means it's significant range advantage for the three better. And when he checks that board, there's two strategies that people use. One strategy is to aggressively bet flop turn and give up on the rivers, because his range will be then super strong when he calls two times. Or other strategy that I like better is just to have a check range and play your range from turn. Then your opponent, you will be uncapped still, and you will be able to do stuff like this about raising and having still value in these spots. And he's gonna need to show the strength of his range on the turn, and people play that double check is really they play really bad double check in all spots. So by having this, you have a lot of board coverage, a lot of value hands still. The Reticle says 2 years ago in micros only good regs used the Orbet. Now I see Orbet all the time. What is the strategy against that? I was planning to put the Orbet section into the one part of the next part of the videos, because we had introduction, now we have the exploit, and I wanted to use also the Orbet there. There is you need to know in which spots, which part of the range should be overbetted. That's the first. So again, we are back to the GTO. You need to know the GTO strategies, when to use overbet. People today from what I see on my limits, they use orbit when it fits their hand. When there fits its hand. Okay, I have a good draw with orbit now. They doesn't even look about the range. And I see I have like straights on both sides, and they don't have it. They don't have. So I have massive nuts advantage, and I see they orbit into that range. You know, they just mostly, from what I see, if you're not playing against really good regs, most of their orbits is just gonna be appropriated for the hand that they are holding, and it's really easy to play against that. Uh, Generally, I want I because of that reason I made the specific orbit pop-up where I see everything about the orbit, how they play, how much they this is how they play as a caller, how much they check fold to an orbit, turn check call, which hands they are check calling on the orbit. So when you click here, you just see their strategy, which hands they will call against orbit, how they will play a river after they call orbit. I put all that in my heart because I want to know their entire orbit strategy. This is in position, out of position. This is how they play as a razor. For example, let's see. Let's go here. We're gonna check there with this. So we want to see here how much he used overbet. We see. So this guy used 8-9 as overbet on the turn, which I don't think is that great. So then you'll see how much they fall to a check raise, how they play river there, what is their generally river orbit strategy. So you will need to know better understanding. Not that great. For example, this is the line they should be. This is the line that is really under bluffed also, but having the king of hearts, and now that he used that small of the size, I mean he's basically wrapping set here or straight, and he's used that small of the size. We just have to call it. But generally also this what I was talking about, this is really, we don't know the guy at all, so I just can't fold king queen with the blocker not knowing it. But generally, yeah, generally this is also really very heavy, really very heavy. So just to conclude about the orbits, uh, generally they are mostly they do it by hand, not by their range, and you need to then be aware of your range. If you have a lot of value bets, you just think about how you want to play it. If you there is or if he's all betting in the spot where he shouldn't be, I would then doing a lot of raising against our bets. Um, Also, it's important how he plays river, and again, if he's all betting with a big part of his range, I would then really attack his normal sizes because people will not be balanced. I'm last 6 months I'm doing everything I can to balance my overbet and normal size, and I'm having a lot of troubles. So just think about people they are not doing that. They're not training. They're not thinking about how their range looks like, and to be balanced. So we want to see what are they doing. Have try to have understanding uh, about that orbit strategy. What are they doing? In which spots they are orbit? How they play river after that, and then make a strategy based on that. Generally, you want to stick with GTO, but if you think they are not range aware, this is really also great board for us. I'm gonna call his queen there. Big size here. Fold on turn. We can check also there. We can check. We can bet. I'll go with check and check raise with queens. We can get a lot of money with against eights, nines, and tens immediately. I'm gonna go with the double check. Think it's okay. I'm gonna put it. One third on the river. One third on the turn. We are winning against eights and nines without the diamonds, but that's not that possible. Yeah, I think I would bluff this. I don't think we are winning often, so I think we just have to bluff this hand. And the river we're definitely gonna have more flush than he's gonna have. We're gonna have ace queen and ace king with the diamond, so definitely I think it's fine. I'm not sure what happened there on the table number 4. I think we probably check call the flop. I'm not sure. Yeah. I think in the next part, I will do with the overbets. If the theme of the video will be overbet and the live stream will be an overbet theme, then we will talk about it. We are calling the river, easy call. You see, again, they're not aware of the range, nothing. They just play their hand. He donks the flop. He should be never donking because he has enormous range disadvantage. We raise, he called, and the turn is 4, which absolutely doesn't help his range at all. Doesn't have any sense to be donk shoving on it. We're of course calling. That's the example what people are doing. So it's same in the overbet. They just use their hand. You also need to be good in hand reading and reading them. There will be also a lot in many spots. They will have the same tendencies, and that's why I made this pop-up, because I want to have 100% idea how they play that overbets, because soon as you have overbet range, one part of your range will be weakening, and one part of your range will be a lot be able to be exploited. So if you're having a lot of overbets with your value range, your normal bet size will be in trouble. And I attack those spots when I see that guys using a lot of overbet with value hands. I just attack his normal size with raises and then shoving the rivers. So definitely it's hard to be on, especially on lower stakes. It's having the overbet range is not that great, because if you're not balanced, the good players can easily exploit you. Not gonna go with an overbet. I'm just gonna do it like this, and we're gonna shove the river there. I would say we are mostly against the top pair here. Yeah, we're just gonna go with a shove. I don't think he's having queen jack ever against. I mean, he can have, but they don't usually call two big bets with queen jack out of position, except clubs. I'm gonna go with small raise. Okay, that's great. Let's see. Okay, fall there. I'm gonna go with delay here, and going with the block bet. Reticle says the most underbluff spot may be the 4 to the flush board. Yep, 4 to the flush board is definitely underbluffed. Yeah, we're just gonna go with Norbert again. Okay, can you explain this hand? Let's try to find a hand that I will tell you. I'm just gonna check there. 10 is really good for him. Okay, this is gonna go like this. We're gonna check aces, kings here, so we definitely have overbet range on the river that can be overbetting without any problems. Let's try to find a hand, and I will explain you my logic and the way you need to be playing it. Try to find a hand. 1/3 here. Also, you can really For example, this king 6 deuce, it's a low c-bet frequency, small blind versus big blind, but generally you can exploitively play 1/3 and do a lot of range put in because people will overfold to it, or betting the turn. Here is definitely we have big range advantage on the second Broadway, and we're just gonna jam the river. Okay, let's go. I'll try to just find the hand, and I will gladly explain to you. Let's just play a hand number 3. We check behind. We don't look like an overpair ever, and I don't think we can bet the turn because that 8, what it changed. Only hand that has sense we are betting is 9s, and I think just gonna have I'm gonna take a free card. I'm just gonna take the free card in. Okay, and let's try to find those hand. Um, wow, this is interesting. The guy is showing the river now and rapping. I don't know what. He's basically rapping 8s or 4s, I would say. Yep. We just can't donk on this 5 because it's not a big part of our. I'm gonna call the turn and fold the river. That's like what the pool is doing. They will bet a king queen, ace king, and they will not bluff it on the river enough, especially when the brick's off. So I will exploitably call here on the turn and fold the rivers. I'll try to find the hand, but I just can't find it, it seems. Okay, which table it was that hand? We fold the queens. We fold the queens, and we fold a full house. And this guy has a7. Yep. I'll try to find a hand and explain to you. Generally, on that river we have massive range advantage. It's in the bottom left, okay? Yep. Let's go into the hand 4. You see, we are betting this board 100% range. 10 10 4. We have basically we have more 10x than he's gonna have. He's we are 3-betting ace 10 suited, ace 10, king 10, queen 10, jack 10, knight 10. I'm missing some 8 10 suited also there, so I would have we have basically the same, or we have the more 10x, and we have all the over pairs, so we're just gonna bet whole range in this spot. He's gonna have a lot of pair and a lot of pocket pairs, 5s through 9s, a lot of Broadway hands. We're definitely betting whole range. He's calling. The turn is ace, so we're betting ace jack, ace king, ace queen, ace king, and ace queen, especially with blockers, are no brainer bet. And he doesn't have basically flush there. His flush is king queen, and they like to check raise king queen of diamonds, king jack of diamonds, and queen jack of diamonds. So basically he has three combo of flushes there. And then, okay, when I bet 1/3, he's gonna check raise at least some of them. And when the river is jack of diamonds, it's pretty insane river for us, because now we have ace king always with the diamond. We have ace jack of diamond. He doesn't have any king of diamond there, except if he's calling ace king in this spot, which can happen, but not that often, you know. So we have massive advantage in flushes. So I don't see how we can check there, and he's gonna have all the 7s, 8s, 9s that's gonna always call the turn with the diamond. And we still have so many ace queen with the queen of diamond and ace king with the king of diamond, so it's just no brainer, and we just want to check behind on table number 3. Yeah, we just have, we are having so big range advantage on the river that I would even bluff hand like an ace 5 of hearts, for example. uh, delaying on the table number 3. Think I would say eights and nines are definitely trouble, because I think eights and nines will always be in his range. I think it's also fine to bet 1/3. Ace 9 is gonna be a call, and 8 9 we're gonna bet against the weaker player. 1/3 the river is fine. Yep, the guy had ace 7. Okay, not that many interesting spots, but there was a couple of it. I would say there was a couple of nice ones. I'm gonna go with the 3-bet. You see, we have even hands like ace 10 off, so just think about how much range advantage we have on the 10-10-4. Really big advantage. 7-8-9. Yeah, this board hits big blind really good. King 9, Queen 9, Jack 9. All of those hands are a lot of top pairs, a lot of pair plus draw hands. So ace 5 is gonna be checked. Let's see his went to showdown. Yeah, we're just gonna go with delay. We are not betting ace queen. We're not betting king queen. So a lot of top pairs now we're gonna have. Again, we are attacking check ranges, like we said, double check, delay. See that all of those you need to really attack. It's a great exploit. They always ask me how can you have that red line. It's impossible, because they don't understand that I just play my range, and if my range is great, I attack weak range. It doesn't you don't need to have the hand if you attack in the right spots. That is the key of the red line. And if you're playing range, you will always win. If you're playing hand, you'll get what the hands what the hand based on what hands you're getting. So if you're playing range, you'll always be winning, and if you're playing hands, you're just gonna be depending on the run. uh, I would like to see something here before. Generally, mm, generally it's most of the 4-bet, but until I know, I think we can play it like this. 4-5, we're gonna call. I'm gonna fold to an overbet. Doesn't have much sense. Okay, you see in the 4-bet pot, it was a 3-bet pot. He just go with an overbet. I'm gonna call there. Jack 10 we're gonna call. Table number 2. I'm gonna check behind. Is he 1/4? I think it's okay. That's good. That is good. King 3. King 3, a6, ace deuce 6. We're gonna bet king 3. This is his versus fault versus c bet. Let's see what hands he did call. 3 is on, I think, clear call. The boat was clear called. Okay. I'm gonna call with call there. Check there. The guy donged the flop. Okay. I think I'm just gonna go with the raise. I will not overbet here. I'll just put all my range. We have a lot of straights. We have king queen. I like this size better. Okay. We are definitely bluffing the river here. And the side, I think we just need to go small with this hand. We have a lot of hands like king 9, king 10, and I think going small with these hands has sense, and without blockers I think ace 10 will fit best in that type of range. So queen 5, okay, king, queen 6 is a fold. What the guy folded there, what he did call the check raise on the turn, dog the turn, dog the flop, bet the turn, call the check raise, and then fold the river. I really want to know. If we miss the river, we need to then we can go with an overbet. But when the flush is completed, again, I don't want to divide my range into the two sizes. I think it's much better to play it as one size and put all the straights there and flushes, not to divide range into the orbit range and the normal range and then mix it together. I think it's much better like this, especially when he calls a raise on the turn. Just has a lot of sense for us, for our range of straights, still value betting, 8x value betting, king queen value betting. So I think it's better like this. King 10, we're folding. 6s we folded. We are alive 2.5 hours. I think we will be closing it soon. Yeah, we're gonna close it soon. Couple more hands, we're gonna see how we went. We'll see how it went. I think it had a lot of interesting spots. There was a lot of interesting spots, but also there were some hands that I really didn't understand. That guy that bluffed Jack 3 was super insane. I mean, when we called with ace high. Yep, definitely. I have a lot of three bets in the flop when I faced with the check raise, and the guy is not doing it on the right boards. Then I do a lot of three bet bluffing in those spots. Hence, like blocking assets have much sense to be doing it with. Definitely. Especially today in today's games, just people have flush draw. Okay, I'm just gonna check raise it, and you just need to know, do you can check raise on the board? Does it fits your range or not? You know, if they are not aware of that, then yep, I'm gonna try to punish them immediately with a lot of three betting immediately on the flop. Usually when I see that they're doing something wrong, I immediately attack it. Yep. I think that's the best way to go. If they're doing something wrong, and you know, let's finish strong like PokerStars video. I wouldn't mind, and I wouldn't be surprised. But you see, you know, if we face a shove in these last few hands, if I open and face a shove, I'm gonna call whatever hand I have. Deal. If in these hands I bet and get open shove, and we get two today, two of those today, and a couple of that before, I was just gonna call any two hands. Okay. Unfortunately, we will not face it. It's really tilting experience. You open and you just faced 100 blinds or 160 blinds shove. Really tilting. Yep, we'll see how we went. I think it was around break even, I would say. Okay, let's see. Okay, we actually lost it a bit. Let's see. Okay, we lost it one buy in, one buy in. Okay, let's see the hands for just to see what we lost. Okay, yeah, this is when we slow play the turn. I think the shove is maybe better play. I just wanted to see how would he play his range, and he got the ace queen there. So I think pretty fine. Nothing that bad. Here the guy played it terribly. We lost, and here we lost. We lost aces where the guy again played really bad with king 4, and everything else is small pot. So yeah, we didn't get that much hands. Yeah, we lost it. But I mean, all of these hands are pretty unfortunate losses. I would say we played really good today. I mean, I'm really even happy how we did. Yeah, we called there on the turn. I think we just have to call on the turn, having the diamond also. It's easy call on the turn. Yeah, that's basically all the hands. And we face the shove there. Yeah, that's it for today. I'm gonna make a new video on Monday on PokerStrategy. You will see what is the team. I hope it will be more of you. Usually when I'm streaming my own blinds, there's more people watching. Yeah, but we will see. So check out the video in Monday. We are close to finishing this week, this month. So 2 more streams and that's it. The last stream of the month will be limit summary, where we will be dual streaming, so it will be fun. So see you then. See you and Friday probably, and check out the video on Monday. Thanks and bye.